This is it! You're starting to plan a Disney cruise vacation, or maybe your departure date is nearing, or maybe you just want to relive a little magic from the last trip. So today we're doing an overview of the Disney Fantasy. Of course, the first step is to get to the ship, so you'll arrive at the clean and modern Disney Cruise Line terminal at Port Canaveral. Check-in is currently outside and is super easy. The terminal was just refurbished in 2022, and thanks to that, you'll now find plenty of seating in the spacious hall, of course the ship model to admire, a room full of vending machines for a snack, and most important, plenty of charging stations for your mobile devices. A hopefully short wait, and then it's time to board. There's a lot to see and do, a lot to eat and drink. So after you get on board, just take some time to walk around and kind of acquaint yourself with the layout. This is a big ship. The Fantasy is 13 decks from bottom to top, starting at crew quarters, operations, and mechanical on deck 1, up to the atrium, main theater, dining, and kids clubs on decks 2 through 5. Then 5 full decks of staterooms, pools, concierge, and then through to the sports deck on deck 13. 3 banks of elevators and fairly straight paths make it easy to move around the ship. First place you've got to find though is your stateroom, and on this trip we had room 8116 on the left, or port, side of the ship. This is a deluxe family ocean view stateroom with veranda. It's 304 square feet, and this one can sleep 5 because it has a Murphy bed in addition to the queen bed, couch bed, and pull down. Now here's a tip. If you have 4 people but want to make sure your cabin has a Murphy bed, when you're booking, enter that you have 5 people and the website will only show you rooms with the Murphy bed. Then go back and change to 4 and book one of the staterooms that showed you earlier. It beats searching the internet to find that information, trust me. The veranda comes with a table and 2 chairs and is great for having a glass of wine and watching the ocean go by. Of course, Disney Cruise Line is known for its split bathroom, which greatly helps a family when getting ready to head out. One room has a sink and toilet, while the other has a sink and a combination bathtub and shower. The adjustable and removable sprayer is great for dealing with smaller kids, and of course, there's complimentary shampoo, conditioner, and shower gel. The other thing DCL is known for is its unique rotational dining setup. There are 3 main dining rooms, and you'll start your adventure in one the first night, move with your server to another on the second night, and so on, continuing the order for the whole week with different menus as you revisit each location. There's Enchanted Garden, Royal Court, and Animator's Palette. Of Enchanted Garden, the cruise line says, "Savor a market-style menu of flavors from around the world at this restaurant inspired by the gardens of Versailles." Well, that's marketing talk for a variety of flavors on the menu, including one of our all-time favorites, the ahi tuna and avocado tower. There are also items like hit-or-miss lobster ravioli, a romaine wedge salad, caramelized sea scallops, and a sticky date pudding for dessert. Royal Court is where you can feast on French-inspired fare in a restaurant inspired by Disney princesses. This would be the fanciest interior of the 3 restaurants. Menus can be found via QR code, so keep your phone handy. You'll find dishes like escargot, and if you haven't ever tried this, there's no time like the present. By the way, if you want to try more than one appetizer or entree, feel free, like the escargot and breaded and deep-fried brie. Move on to the onion soup, and then the lobster pasta, or the roasted duck breast. Finish with the classic opera gâteau. The theme at Animator's Palette is obviously animation. Something to keep in mind is that the menus will always have choices on the lighter side, which will be plain chicken, beef, and fish, and there's always a child menu available with items like chicken soup, mac and cheese, and chicken strips. Though this is a great opportunity for the kids to be adventurous and try something new. Here you can start with the smoked salmon tartare and black truffle pasta purses as appetizers. A refreshing chicken and walnut salad followed by a grilled tuna steak, or beef tenderloin for an entree. We don't feel chocolate desserts are Disney's strong point, at least in the main dining room, so don't expect to be blown away. If you're lucky, you'll be seated by one of the screens that Crush comes by and you can talk with them.
Oh, dude, it does look awesome, dude. It kind of looks like the EAC. Totally righteous, dude.
Of course, rotational dining with servers isn't the only place to eat. Deck 11 is home to Cabanas, a serve-yourself buffet at the aft, or back, end of the ship. More towards the middle is Flo's Cafe with quick-serve options. Cabanas is set up pod style, which means following a line beginning to end is a no-no. Head to the area you're interested in, grab a plate, serve yourself, and then move on. For breakfast, you'll find the usuals like eggs, pancakes, bacon, some international options. As well as things like Eggs Benedict, bagels and lox, and omelets. Grab your coffee and find a spot outside to take in the scenery. Lunchtime will have heartier fare like sandwiches, baked items, salads, pizza, a kids area, and of course, some seafood. There are cases full of desserts, which are usually fine, but always grab a warm chocolate chip cookie or two. Cabanas has its own soda machines of Coke products, plus juices and coffee, and these are available on both the port and the starboard sides of the restaurant. There's also drinks to be had at all hours out on the pool deck. Now keep in mind, soft drinks at bars and through room service are canned, and those are going to cost you. Flo's Cafe is a quick service area made up of 3 windows on the starboard side of the ship. Luigi's has a variety of pizzas and they'll have a daily special, as will all the windows. The pizza is passable for adults, but kids will love it. Fillmore's has fresh fruit, salads, and sandwiches, which they'll press if you ask. Tow Mater's Grill has items like burgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, fries, and those awesome chicken strips. Nearby you'll find the condiment bar with everything you should need. Around the corner on the port side you'll find Frozone Treats, which has smoothies and alcoholic drinks. These all cost extra, of course, but right next door is Ice Cream, the included all-you-care-to-have soft-serve ice cream station. A great drink and snack option just steps away and just for adults is Cove Cafe. In here they do fancy coffees, at an additional cost of course, but they also have a loyalty card with which you can end up getting a free drink. Something not an additional cost is the great snacks and desserts they have in their display case. These treats are much better than the items you'll find in Cabanas, and they change during the day, so be sure to check it out at different times. If you're looking more for sweets, there's Sweet on You on the port side of the ship. This is an adorable shop full of things to rot your teeth, at an additional cost, of course. The usual bag snacks like you'd find in the parks, and then all sorts of macarons, cookies, cupcakes, and chocolate-covered delights. Their specialty is gelato, basic flavors, but also things like mixed berry, bubblegum, Snickers, and what looks to be Fruit Loops. Don't forget to add something from the choice of toppings, and keep an eye on the kids, or you might get a big surprise on your bill. Quick shout out to the Vista Cafe on Deck 4, where they also keep their case stocked with a variety of snacks at different times during the day. Okay, we all know you shouldn't be surprised to see children on a Disney ship, but what if you want to get away from them for a quiet meal? Head on up to Deck 12 to either Palo or Remy and have a drink beforehand at the Meridian Lounge. At Palo, you'll find Italian-inspired cuisine for brunch or dinner in a classy atmosphere. Dress casual attire with a polished look is the minimum, or anything more formal will fit in fine. Brunch is served on days at sea, and now it's all table service as opposed to the small buffet it used to start with. For the current $45 price, you can pretty much order anything and as much of it as you'd like from the menu, and the servers want to make sure you get everything you desire. They'll start you off with a complimentary mimosa, and then bread and pastries. You should get both of the antipasta plates in your group so you can try it all. The flatbreads are perfect here. This is a half goat cheese and sun-dried tomato, half sausage. The waffles come Mickey-shaped, as you might expect. Or you can get a salmon benedict, which they do perfectly. Then have a main entree like veal saltimbocca. And here they do chocolate much better than the main dining rooms, so be sure to save room. Another day, come back to Palo for dinner and stop at the Meridian Lounge for a cocktail or wine beforehand. They may even have some live music playing. Dinner has a different menu arrangement than brunch. For the $45, you can choose a fixed price menu of limited choices or pay individually for courses if you want something else. You'll start with an amuse-bouche of a potato puff on mushroom sauce, and then move on to an appetizer, like fried shrimp and calamari, or a gorgeous tomato mozzarella caprese. There's also pillowy gnocchi for an appetizer. A pasta course could be lobster pappardelle, and for an entree, try the ossobuco. And when the server asks early in the meal if you'd like the chocolate souffle for dessert, definitely say yes. It's very decadent and contrasts so well with the vanilla ice cream. It's a great way to finish off. Then there's Remy, an even more gourmet experience. I don't have video of when we dined at Remy years ago, but this is the special Petit Assiette event, held only occasionally in the afternoon after boarding. It's a 6-course tasting of tiny plates and wine, hosted by the chef and sommelier, and it's very exclusive. If they aren't presenting it during your trip, you can still enjoy brunch, dinner, or a dessert experience. The menu changes often, but here are some of the dishes we enjoyed at a previous meal. And just relax, knowing it will always include the cheese cart where they'll give you tastings of up to 10 cheeses. Now that is living. Of course, nothing says, "I'm on vacation," like a nice cocktail, pint of beer, or glass of wine, and there are many places around the ship to get alcohol. Start at the Currents Bar on Deck 13, then down to Deck 12, the home of the Meridian Lounge, and Waves, a bar you'll likely never find. Down to Deck 4 and the Europa Club section, and then the Bon Voyage bar near the atrium on Deck 3. Get your martinis at Meridian Lounge, and you'll find your drink of the day and more at Currents above the adult pool. The Europa area is off limits to children at night, and it's made up of 5 bars. La Piazza is a festive Italian-themed bar where they're happy to make up your favorite mixed drink. You'll find trivia games are often hosted here, and they also have live music. You may find yourself taking a class like tequila tasting in the Ooh La La champagne bar, where a performer can often be found playing the piano while you drink your bubbly. There's also a food bar nearby where snacks are put out late in the evening for a quick nosh. Then head on down the coolest hallway of restrooms, and you'll find yourself at the aft elevator and stair entrance to the club area. You're also at the Tube, a London-themed club that hosts the adult game shows, music, and comedy performances, and the Skyline Lounge nearby. The hosts are fun, the show's interactive, and you never know when you'll be persuaded to join a conga line.
Are you all ready? Then let's play Pop! All right.
The Tube will have its own entertainment, as well as bringing in some of the main stage talent for a more adult show than the main theater.
One, two, three, three. Hold it up there, 3. Good, Paquito!
And then we were supposed to go play.
You may even get to hear the experiences and talk to a visiting Broadway star.
And then we were going to come into Broadway.
Nearby is the Skyline Lounge, where the windows on the wall change to reflect scenes from cities around the world. Mixology classes are usually held in here. Up the street is O'Gill's Pub, the quintessential Irish sports bar. There's a great beer selection, bar snacks, and food you can order at an additional cost. They hold a lot of trivia games in here. Speaking of beer, have I mentioned the beer mug special? You can buy a 22-ounce mug and they will fill it for the price of a 16-ounce pour. And you don't even have to lug it around. They'll give you a card to redeem next time you want to fill up. Bon Voyage, located just off the atrium on Deck 3, is a great place to grab a drink before a show or to just hang out at and do a little people watching. Okay, let's talk water fun on the Fantasy. There are places for adults, families, and kids to cool off and have a good time. Grown-ups can head to Deck 13 to Satellite Falls, named for the ship equipment hidden in those big structures. It's a quiet place to just sit and chill. Lots of seats up here and a great view over the bow of the ship. Down the stairs, Deck 13 is home to the Aqua Lab and the Aqueduct ride. The Aqua Lab is a water play area for older kids, while the Aqueduct is the water coaster that makes a loop around the ship. As soon as you board the ship, or days in port are great times to avoid lines. Be sure to ride it at night as well when the lights are on. Very cool. Near cabanas on Deck 11, you'll find Nemo's Reef, a play area for the smallest kids. And nearby you'll find family pools named after Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Of course, there's nothing more fun than sitting in the Donald pool watching a movie on funnel vision above. Lastly, towards the bow is the adults-only pool area with its own bar. Disney Cruise Line is known for its best in industry youth activities. Starting at the top of the ship, there's the Edge on Deck 13, which is actually in the smokestack. The rest of the clubs are located lower in the ship, like the Vibe and the Oceaneers Club and Lab on Deck 5. Finally, there's the It's a Small World nursery for the youngest guests, that one at an additional cost. The Oceaneers Club and Lab for those 3 to 12 years of age is full of fun activities with video games, dance parties, character meet and greets, classes, and so on. Schedule information can be found in the Navigator app on your mobile device. Meals are also available so they can stay in the club while mom and dad are out having fun. They even have a kid-sized bathroom. Nearby is the Bippity Boppity Boutique for your princess or pirate makeover needs. You'll want to make a reservation to be sure you get in. The Edge is for preteens, age 11 to 14. If someone is shy, don't worry. They start out with fun icebreakers so everyone gets to know everyone else. The counselors here are great and really participate in all the games and activities scheduled for the group. It's so much fun that kids will want to leave meals early to get back to their friends. Lastly, there's the Vibe for ages 14 to 17. This cool teen hangout lets you participate as much or as little as you want and has lots of games and even its own private pool outside. If you want to get away from all the mayhem on board, there's Senses Spa on Deck 11. This haven of relaxation has everything you need to work out, and then the treatments for after, like massages, services like manicures and pedicures, facials, haircuts, and even the Chill Spa that teens aged 13 to 17 can schedule appointments at. There are also hosted classes, some of which are at no extra cost. So far, we've covered a lot of territory. But what else is there to do for fun? Well, let's start off on Deck 13 at the sports deck, and then head down to Deck 5 for the Midship Detective Agency. The D Lounge is located on Deck 4, along with the Buena Vista Theater. And finally, the Walt Disney Theater on Deck 3. The sports deck is home to the basketball court, the sports simulator, and Goofy's Golf, a 9-hole miniature golf course. Its self-service and clubs and balls can be found at the first hole. Midship Detective Agency is a fun game that will lead you all over the ship, interacting with magic paintings on the wall to solve a heinous crime perpetrated by a Disney villain. The D Lounge on Deck 4 is home to family game shows, trivia, classes like towel folding, and Disney Vacation Club presentations. You'll also find lots of opportunity to sing karaoke here. Towards the bow from the D Lounge is the Buena Vista Theater, home to most of the first-run movies you'll see on the ship. Right outside, you'll find a snack stand with drinks, candy, and popcorn. Finally, there's the Walt Disney Theater. This multi-story venue hosts all the main entertainment during the week, from music to comedy acts, movies to the Broadway-worthy stage shows like Aladdin, Frozen, and Believe.
Just kill another fun Disney song. Now, 1, 2, 3. Roll, roll, roll your dog.
Gently down the stream, gently down the stream, gently.
Okay, good.
Merrily, merrily, help me, help me, help me.
All right. And then Big Pete, you'll be our big finish.
Life is the dream.
Okay, great.
A cruise is a great place to find characters for meet and greets. But even if you don't make a point to hunt them down, you may just stumble upon somebody like Rapunzel dancing in the atrium. An event unique to Disney is the Pirates in the Caribbean Party Night. All dining rooms will have a special pirate-themed menu, and there are 2 different pirate shows on deck. You'll finish off with fireworks at sea, and don't miss the buffet and cabanas after the second show. By the way, don't be afraid to dress up as a pirate. Everybody does it. Yarr! Then there's all the available excursions for making your own adventures, like bobsledding down the side of a mountain in Jamaica, or ziplining through the canopy above. The best for last? Of course, the cruise finishes with a day at Castaway Cay, Disney's private island with its family and adult beaches, fun and games, and all-you-can-eat barbecue lunch. Make sure to get some of that mango from the fresh fruit stand. It is amazing. Here's something a little utilitarian but useful to know. Aside from putting your laundry in a bag and sending it off to be cleaned at an extra cost, there are multiple self-serve launderettes on board in case you spilled something on your dress shirt. It's got everything you need from soap to iron and is all very high-tech, letting you know if there are open machines elsewhere on board, and it will even notify you when your cycle has finished so you can head back and get your stuff before someone takes it out and throws it on the floor. Then there's the last bit of fun on the ship, the places you go to get something to bring home with you. The onboard shops are located between the atrium and the Walt Disney Theater. Sea Treasures is my favorite. It's got all the fun adult merchandise. From shirts and clothing of all kinds, to ornaments, drinking vessels, photo albums, keepsakes, and more. Don't forget to use any discounts you may have, such as a Castaway Club or DVC discount. The high-end Bulgari jewelry shop is right across the hall, and then next to it is the shop Diamonds and Wishes, where you'll find jewelry, regular and Disney-themed, as well as watches and other expensive treasures. On the other side of the walk is Mickey's Main Sale, which has everything a young shopper would need. Forgot your pirate clothing? No worries, they have plenty to choose from. As well as themed Disney costumes and toys of all kinds like dolls, cars, and even your very own cruise ship. Also in stock are picture frames, mouse ears, and candy. At Midship on Deck 11, you'll discover Who's Its and What's Its, a shop that I swear is never open, so just admire the merch from afar. Oh, and don't forget to check your photos at Shutters on Deck 4, and you can download your images when you get home if you bought a package. Well, that is it. That's an overview of the Disney Fantasy. Hopefully this helps you prepare for an upcoming vacation or look back fondly on a past trip. So stay calm and cruise on.